गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण जय शिल प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna, we'll be discussing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, text 23. Yotsyamanaan abeksheham ya etetra samagataha dhatarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. So now Arjuna asked Krishna to draw the chariot in front of the opposite army. With what intention did he ask? So he is saying, "O Krishna, I want to see who is interested to fight for the side of Duryodhana. Yotsyamanaan. Yotsyamanaan means those who will be fighting. Avekshe, I want to. Viksha, I want to see them. Aham. Yaha, those who. Ete atra samagataha. They have all assembled samagataha to fight us. And who have sided Dhartarashtrasya Durbuddhehe, who have supported the Duryodhana's evil mindedness, and thereby Yudhe Priyachikir Shavaha, and thereby who were desiring to fight. So I wanted to see who are all those people. So Prabhupada mentions that these people who are fighting for Duryodhana, Arjuna is thinking, these are all people who joined Duryodhana and they must be having, or they must have been the birds of same feather. You know, this saying in English, the birds of the same feather flock together. So the birds don't mix with some other birds. They want to fly together, the birds of one kind. So that means if somebody is of a evil mindedness, they will likely join Duryodhana, who is also of evil mindedness. So Arjuna is thinking, who are all these people, in spite of knowing Duryodhana's evil mindedness, who joined? I want to just see once. So our mind, similarly, when we choose a side, we have to choose whose side we belong. We are classified based on whose side we choose. Like here, all the warriors on Duryodhana's side are classified as belonging to Duryodhana's side, isn't it? So in life, we may choose a side, and that side determines our position as well. Say we are voting for somebody. And you cannot say, no, my viewpoint is different, but still I voted for that person. No, you voted for that person. You chose that person. That means you are on the side of that person. Whatever is his viewpoint, whatever is the atrocities that he commits, then you will still be responsible for that, for choosing. So, what we need to understand is that our mind keeps making these choices. And if you leave the mind to make choices, it mostly makes bad choices. Like one example, my friend, one of the friends, he was saying, so he was enjoying a subscription of a sports channel, and so he kept on getting that content even when he unsubscribed. So he kept on enjoying, oh, these people are foolish. I unsubscribed, and still they are letting me watch. And he kept on watching without worrying further. But later on, he kept when he saw his credit card bills, he saw that every month they are cutting that whatever $20, $30, $40, whatever. They're cutting that amount. And then he was shocked. He thought he already unsubscribed, and then when he went and asked them, they said, "No, you unsubscribed, but then later on when you started watching, this is our contract that the moment you start watching, even when you unsubscribe, it is considered as subscription from our side. So therefore, we continue to bill you." And then he was so mad that he didn't want to spend that money, but he ended up spending. So the point is that you may be enjoying today by thinking that you made a good choice. Or you may be thinking the other person is foolish, or whatever it is, I'm enjoying life at no cost. But you are enjoying today doesn't mean that you have made a good choice. Like the other time, we got one letter from this retirement benefits, the 401k as we call. So they gave us these three options. So you switched a company. So now we will do this, and so you have to do this. So the money that you have in retirement savings, you have an option to move that to a better yielding benefit transfer, or we'll just keep it at this. We'll have a rollover and we'll keep it at a base, whatever price, base interest. So if you don't understand the options and don't act thinking that it'll be all right, then they'll put you in a very default basic policy by which you won't get much yield. So if you don't explicitly choose, they will choose a bad option for you. Like you all must be familiar with the rental car in US. So when you hire a rental car and when you return the rental car, so you have to fill the gas. And they'll say that if you don't fill the gas, we will end up filling it, but at a very high cost. We'll consider that the tank is full, empty, and then we'll fill the full tank at much higher price than you would actually incur if you did fill the gas. So that means you may be enjoying. You're thinking that life is all happy, enjoy, I don't have to worry. But your mind, if you don't let, if you don't direct your mind, the mind will choose a bad option. So many times we choose the side of enjoying now without thinking the consequences, and we end up paying the price. Many times my friends in office, they would say, "Oh, what do you do when you go out?" Because we follow Krishna consciousness, we eat prasadam and we offer to the Lord, and we don't usually eat outside. So when people, when they tour and when they go out for long weekends, they happily go and eat whatever they want. "Oh, what do you do?" "So yeah, we cook and eat. We have so many varieties." "Oh, why?" "So that means you cannot enjoy all the unlimited varieties out in the world." So they think that they are enjoying now. They made a very good choice of not taking to Krishna consciousness, and thereby they are happy. But we should always remember, you are enjoying now doesn't mean, that is not the criteria to think that you made a good choice. Because the food that is available outside, firstly, not necessarily healthy. And if you actually go and see what all kind of hygienic conditions they make, not necessarily hygienic. And importantly, the food that is cooked by a person, that person transmits his consciousness to the food. It is a great science. And when you are eating that food, you are imbibing that consciousness of that person. And by not offering the food, Krishna says, Bhunjate te tu agham papa e pachanti atmakaranat. One who eats food for themselves, for their atmakaranat, for their sense gratification, for their enjoyment, is eating sin, because the food we attain comes from so many different ways, by killing the plants or by so many other mechanisms which carry sinful activity. What to speak of eating prohibited things like meat and so on and so forth. It carries huge sinful reactions. So that's why yajna shishtashinah santo muchyante sarva kilbishaihi. The food that we eat have to be offered to the Lord in yajna. Simple offering. You place the food in front of the Lord. The Lord is not going to take away the food. He will leave everything for you. But the act of gratitude, the act of offering the food, purifies the food. And it's a very, very happy and satisfactory feeling that we'll have, as well as purifying feeling we'll have. It's a purified effect. So enjoying right now doesn't mean that we have made a good choice. So we need to understand that. And that's what we can learn from what Arjuna is looking at. These people, they are thinking they are on, they are going to enjoy the kingdom. They have resources, they have huge army, they think they can win. And no. On the other hand, you see Arjuna and Pandavas, they stuck to Krishna, even though they were continuously suffering. But they stuck to Krishna. They chose the right side. And because of that, Krishna gave that protective shield. In so many ways, Arjuna would have been killed in the battle, like Parikshit Maharaj would describe. These people were like Timingalas. Timingala can easily swallow a whale. We don't even know who is that Timingala in the water, but the Vedic scriptures mention that there is such an entity called Timingala. It can easily swallow a whale for its breakfast. So these people, the Maharadhis, on the side of Duryodhana are like Timingalas who could have easily swallowed Arjunas and Yudhishtiras and Bhimas. But just because of Krishna's presence, they were all saved. So that is the right choice. Yes, you may be struggling, you may be suffering apparently today. But if you choose the side of Krishna, if you choose the side of Dharma, then you made the good choice. Because Krishna gives protection and it purifies you, and it is the best thing to do. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. So the other thing to note here is that Arjuna is saying Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe, evil-mindedness of Duryodhana. So that means when we take to Krishna consciousness, definitely we will have people with evil-mindedness trying to harm us. In fact, not necessarily Krishna consciousness. Every moment, every walk of life, we'll have somebody with an evil intent ready to harm us. Particularly more so when you become a devotee. But here it shows that it doesn't matter what evil plan people will have, but Krishna will always protect the devotees. One time our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he was recounting the days in Bombay, now Mumbai. So when in Juhu we have this beautiful temple now, but it was obtained after a long struggle. The land belonged to one person, and so Prabhupada and his disciples, they made a deal with that person. So Prabhupada told him that he was asking about, I think I'm just quoting from my memory, could be about 17 or 18 lakhs for that portion of land. And so Prabhupada said, yes, can we give 3 lakhs now? And the remaining 15 lakhs, I'll give you over the next, I believe, 5 years or something, Prabhupada said. Some such number. As we keep getting donations, we'll pay you. So he gave that land on that condition. And so Prabhupada was thinking, oh, this person, he let us get this land, by taking 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, and the remaining 15 lakhs we'll give you in the next 3 years, whatever. So Prabhupada thought, oh, this person is a good person, because nowadays who will have the confidence that this person is a beggar or they don't have any assets? How can he give me back that money in 3 years? But Prabhupada was thinking he's a nice man. He respects the devotees and have confidence. But actually, that person has an evil intent. His his feeling inside was, these people are fools. They gave me 3 lakhs now, or whatever, 2 or 3 lakhs. They will never be able to pay me back my money in 3 years. Impossible, because that is a big money, the remaining 15 lakhs to be paid in 3 years. So when they cannot honor that commitment, then I'll get to keep the land and I'll also get to keep the money that they gave. So this is a very good plan. See the evil intent this man had. So Prabhupada, he knew about that evil intent only after he made it explicit. So he wanted to take the land back because they couldn't satisfy a condition. And then Prabhupada started to see, the devotee started to see his evil intent. And devotees were in great anxiety. Oh, we'll be losing so much of money, hard-earned donations. We have given to this man and he's cheating us. And now the land will be lost. What to do? But of course, many devotees know that Prabhupada continued to fight for Krishna, for the land that Prabhupada promised that he would give to Krishna and install the deity of Krishna. And eventually, Krishna protected the devotees. After a long fight, they went to the court and they sought the help of public. And finally, they became victorious. And mystically, before the all these things were settled, this man actually died. This person who was trying to steal the property from the devotees. So, like that, you see many instances in devotees' lives. They're always under the attack from the evil mindedness of the opponents or materialistic men, not opponents. Yeah, that's why Queen Kunti prays to Lord Krishna, Vishan Mahagnehe Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichratah Mrudhe Neka Maharadhastrato Draunyastratascha Hare Bhirakshitah. So she is recounting how Krishna protected them in so many dangers. Like Bhima was given poison and they were put under fire in that house that Duryodhana gave, but it was somehow Vidura informed them and they were saved. And they were in exile, they faced so many difficulties. Purushada means these man eaters. Bhima killed this man eater Rakshasa. And Draupadi was so badly insulted in the assembly. And they had so many crooked plans like that. Finally, the Ashwadhama, he wanted to kill all the Pandavas and he wanted to end their dynasty by killing the sons. Instead, he killed the sons of Pandavas. He thought he killed all the Pandavas, but Krishna protected the Pandavas. So, in this way, so many ways they tried to kill the Pandavas. They were constantly under threat. But Queen Kunti is remembering, Hare Bhirakshita ho, Lord, you protected us in so many ways. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Chipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktah pranasyati. So Krishna gives assurance that, O Kaunteya, O Arjuna, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. When I decide to protect somebody, there is nobody that can kill that person. Mare Krishna rakhe Krishna mare ke. There's a famous saying. If Krishna decides to kill somebody, mare Krishna rakhe ke, who can protect that person? And if Krishna decides to protect somebody, rakhe Krishna mare ke, who can kill that person? So see how if you make the choice to be under the shelter of Krishna, see what Krishna provides to his devotees. And then the other aspect of this verse, Prabhupada clarifies in this purport that why Arjuna wants to see this opposite camp, not with an intent, not with a cowardice mentality, not with an intent to compromise, but he wants to see who are all these people who have made the choice to be with Duryodhana and how he has to be prepared to fight with them. So, in other words, a devotee or a Vaishnava can also be a warrior and can fight and does his duty in all the aspects to the best of his ability. Like I was telling the story of how Prabhupada fought with this owner of that land. And it's not that the devotee means soft and silent and he is humble all the time and just lets people trample on him. But for Krishna, if needed, the devotee can become the best of the warriors. If needed, he will fight for Krishna, even though by nature he is tolerant and humble. Like one of the six Goswamis we have in our line, the disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Dasa, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. The six Goswamis, headed by Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they were so humble. They were so soft and humble. They, on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they left the biggest position. Literally, they were running the whole of Bengal, like they were right hands of Chief Minister, the Nawab of Bengal. But they left that position. They went to Vrindavan, took the dress of a sannyasi or a mendicant, and they begged and lived a humble life. And they were the best of the scholars, researching from the scriptures and writing books about Krishna consciousness. And there was no parallel to their scholarship. But then there was this scholar, materialist scholar named Rupanarayana. He was very proud of his reputation as a great Sanskrit and religious scholar. So he heard about the scholarship of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and came and challenged them for a debate. So he wanted to claim to be the greatest philosopher and an undefeated debater. But Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they didn't want to waste their time on such a meaningless public display and they refused to debate. And instead, they agreed to sign. He would carry a patra saying that I've won over this and these people. This is my list of people who I defeated. So just signed and gave. Okay, I've been defeated by this Rupnarayana. And then he was like feeling elated. And then he was thinking, there was this, the nephew of Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, who is Jiva Goswami. He was also a great scholar. he was very young, of course, compared to Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, but his reputation was that he was a great philosopher and a scholar. So this Rupanarayan, he thought he could not claim to be greatest unless he defeated Jiva Goswami also. So he thought Jiva Goswami also would do same as his uncles had done, and he would just simply sign a certificate acknowledging his defeat. So the scholar proudly showed Jiva Goswami the documents that his uncles had signed and produced a similar one for him to sign. But Jiva Goswami refused to sign. And he said he would debate with that man. And he did debate. And he soundly defeated Rupanarayan. And then the matter was informed to Rupa Goswami. Your nephew and your disciple Jiva Goswami has defeated this learned scholar Rupa Goswami. But Rupa Goswami became angry. But of course, it's only superficially. He was saying, why did you bother wasting your time on this kind of people? But of course, some people say that Jiva Goswami was rejected on this ground by Rupa Goswami, but that's not a fact. He was very glad that Jiva Goswami defeated Rupa Narayan, but superficially he said, why should you take so much trouble and bother yourself? He might have gone with that certificate. What is the use of having that certificate without having anything substance spiritually? But Prabhupada says that it is a duty of the disciple that even if the spiritual master or a senior acharya agrees to be defeated, it is a duty of the disciple to see that his spiritual master and superior is not defeated. That is the instruction we get from Jiva Goswami's behavior. So, in such cases, Prabhupada says that one should not be humble and meek, but one must act. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principle is Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street and more tolerant than a tree, and giving all respect to others even if one is not respected. Then only then one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. But when a devotee is threatened, when the Lord is blasphemed, we should not be humble. When there is an order of the Lord, oh, Krishna is ordering Arjuna, but Arjuna should not think humble, oh, how can I kill these people? No. A Vaishnava is not just humble and meek. When needed, he can do the best of the duties as needed, including killing, including fighting like Arjuna did, like how Jiva Goswami did. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments, you can unmute yourself or pose it in the chat window. All right. Thank you all. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.